Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you out there, wherever you are in the world. This is Samuel Waneka and welcome you to Edislam Online Academy. In this tutorial, we'll be using AutoCAD to model an elbow, a 10-inch schedule 80 elbow. So without wasting your time, let's move directly to the software. So, like I said, now we'll be modeling a tree 10-inch schedule 80 elbow. So please, before I go further, subscribe to this channel. If you've not yet subscribed, click on the bell icon so that you'll be notified whenever I post any tutorial, and click the like button and also drop your comment, please, so that others can also benefit from this channel, from this tutorial as well. So now when you want to model, what's the first thing you do? What you're going to do is that normally for 2D, you use drafting and annotation. So you're going to come down here to this gear icon. This gear icon down here, you're going to come here. When you get here, you click on the drop down arrow. And normally, when you're working on 2D, you're on drafting and annotation. But right now, you want to model, you're going to switch over to 3D modeling. So click on 3D modeling. You're going to enter the modeling arena right now. So right now we are in the modeling arena. So what next am I going to do? I come up here and I'm going to, I want to show my menu bar. I click on show menu bar. So if you've done all this, we are actually good to go. Okay, another thing you should do is that set your layers. I'm going to show you the layers I've set. I already have uploaded a video in which I've taught you how to set layers. So right now, I have a layer for center line, which is actually white, center 2. I have a layer for dimension, which is green. I have a layer for ID, which is a magenta. I have a layer for OD, that is outer diameter, which is cyan. ID stands for internal diameter. So make sure you set these layers, although it's not compulsory, you can still go through the tutorial without setting this layer. But to make your work more appealing and more beautiful, you can set the layer. So like I said that, we're going to construct a 10-inch elbow, schedule 80. So these are the information for a 10-inch pipe. This is the outer diameter. This is the outer diameter of a 10-inch pipe. This is the inner diameter of a 10-inch pipe. And for a 10-inch elbow, this is the radius of curvature. Radius of center line of curvature, it is 381. So we're going to proceed. So what are you going to do? Normally, this is going to be on top. This is going to be on top. You will come to the view control here. Likely, if you've not used it before, it's going to be on top. So when you get here, what are you going to do? Change it to front. Change it to front. So when you change it to front, what's the next thing you're going to do? Just move over to this axis control and then click on line. When you click on line, type 100, 0. Then type 1000. Okay, my auto mode is not on, so let me switch on auto mode and do it again. So I switch on auto mode. Let me delete this. So I go to line. I type 0. I type in 1000, 0. I press enter. Okay. So I move towards the left. I type 500. I press enter. I press enter again to terminate the line. So I want to draw the elbow. I want to model the elbow, not just draw. I want to model it in 3D. So the first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to construct the radius of curvature. So the radius of center of curvature of a 10-inch elbow is 381. So I come here, I go to circle. I go to circle. So when I get to circle, before I go to circle, I'll keep my layer on center line. Let me keep my layer on center line. So having kept my on center line, I'm going to draw a line from here, a line of length 400. Okay. So what's the next thing I'm going to do? Okay, let me use another approach. So I go over here to cycle. I click on center radius. I come here. I draw a cycle of radius 381. I press enter. This cycle, the radius of this cycle is 381. That is the radius of center line of curvature. So having drawn that, let me delete this line off. We're going to draw a line that from the quadrant here. Make sure quadrant snap is turned on. Make sure your quadrant snap is turned on. Your quadrant snap is turned on. Okay. So we're going to draw a line from the upper quadrant to the lower quadrant, and another one from the quadrant on the left to the quadrant on the right. So this divides the circle into 4 equal parts. So now we are going to trim. So you type TRIM for trim. Press enter again. Then trim this off. Trim this off. Okay. You can actually delete this. Just delete that away. Okay. So we have our center line of curvature right now. So let's move it forward a little. And we're going to create 2 more copies of it. So let me space them out. Okay, so having this together right now, we're going to change our view from front. Our view right now is on front. We're going to change to southwest isometric. So changing this to southwest isometric, you're going to change these, your coordinates here. Come to where you have your coordinates and change what you have on front. Click on that drop down arrow and change it from front to world. Let it be on world. So right now, we want to draw the cycle, the open end of our elbow. Our elbow has 2 open ends, one at the top, one below. Okay, so let's start from the one below. So I'm going to draw that here. Now, so I go to cycle. I'm going to draw the one with the inner diameter. The inner diameter. Now, what's the inner diameter? The inner diameter here of a 10-inch, this thing is 242.82. Let me show that clearly again. 242. This is the inner diameter here, 242.82. While the outer is 273.1. So we come back here. We're going to draw a cycle of 242.82 down here. So I come to cycle. I choose center diameter. I come to the end of that arc. So I draw a cycle of 242.82. Okay. I draw a cycle of 242.82. Okay, now I'm drawing it, but you might try it and it doesn't work for you. So let me delete it. Keep this thing on Word. Make sure this is on Word. Let's draw a cycle right now again. So I try to draw the cycle of radius 242.82. It actually works. It's been drawn. No problem. It's been drawn with this node being set to Word. So this is the inner diameter. So let me keep it on that layer. Inner diameter layer. Okay. So I have the cycle of this is the open face, the face below, the face of the elbow that is below. So I need the one on this side, although it's not compulsory. I don't really need it to draw this elbow. So since I've actually drawn one face, I've drawn the one below here. What do I do to complete the elbow for the inner diameter? What do? I come up here to the modeling section. Right now, what I have here is extrude. So I'm going to click on the drop down arrow beyond it, below extrude. Then I'll click on sweep. On clicking on sweep, check the command line. The command window says select objects to sweep. What do I want to sweep? I want to sweep this cycle here. I want the cycle to be swept around this arc to form the elbow for the inner diameter. So I've already selected the cycle. I'm going to press enter. I press enter on my keyboard. And after pressing enter my keyboard, I am asked to select sweep path. This is my sweep path. That is the radius of center line of curvature. I click on that. Hold on, before I click on that, let me change my layer to ID. So now I click on that. I click on the radius of center line of curvature. And the elbow has been formed, but it's looking skeletal. Because why is it looking this way? It doesn't really look like an elbow. Let me change. This is wireframe. The display is on wireframe. So you come up here to visual style control. What you have here is 2D wireframe. Now click on 2D wireframe. You have a whole host of others. Change it from 2D wireframe. Click on realistic. So now it's actually showing like an elbow, but this is just the inner diameter. We've not done the outer diameter. So right now we're going to do the outer diameter. So the inner diameter will start from below. Now we're going to start from top for the outer. Okay, to see whether it's going to give us any challenge or whether it will still work out the same way it was. So whenever you want to model as a beginner, make sure that you are on Southwest and this is on Word. Okay. If it doesn't work, then you make necessary adjustments. So right now we want to create the outer diameter. So we're going to put this on the layer. Go to layer and change to OD, which stands for outer diameter. Now, what is the OD? The OD is 273.1. 273, is it? 273.1. That is the outer diameter. So we're going to draw a cycle of outer diameter 273. That cycle is supposed to face the way this cycle up here is facing. That is how that cycle is supposed to face. So let's go to cycle, choose center diameter, come here and start drawing 273.1. Enter. This thing is lying wrongly. It's supposed to. The cycle is supposed to face the way the upper open end of this elbow is facing. The upper side is facing, but it's lying down. So what are we going to do? So this is where you need to pay close attention as I explain what you're going to do. So whenever you want to model and you are trying to just draw something to face a particular direction and it's not facing, what do? what you do is that first you will come here, make sure the coordinates on wall, make sure this place, the view control is on southwest isometric. Then you look at this cube. This face, this thing is, the way it's lying down now, if you look at the cube, is aligned with the top. You see top on the cube is aligned with top. But we want to face this other direction. So you are going to look at the cube. Which side of the cube faces the direction you want the cycle to appear? That side is the left-hand side. The left-hand side of the cube is the side that you want the cycle you want to draw on this elbow to face. So what do? You come over here and change it from wall to left. You're going to change it to what? To left. Now let's delete this and draw the cycle of radius 273.1 once again. So I come over here, center diameter. I come here, I draw cycle of radius 273.1, and now you can see that it's actually working. Press enter. My cycle is now properly displayed. So what's the next thing? The next thing is to sweep. Is to sweep the cycle along the path. So I go once again to sweep. Now sweep is displayed because we've already made use of it. So I just click on sweep. It asks on the command line, I am told select object sweep. This is what I'm going to sweep here. The cycle. I select it. I press enter on my keyboard. I am told to select sweep path on the command line. What is the sweep path? This is the sweep path. I click on this. And now the elbow has been swept for the outer diameter. This is the inner diameter. This is the outer diameter. So how do we match these things together? How do we match the two of them together? Okay, to match them together, just copy this. Let's copy this forward. We'll copy this forward, drop it there, and we're going to go to where we have realistic. Click on realistic and click on realistic, change it to 2D wireframe. Okay, so now this is the inner diameter. We need the outer diameter. Now select this one, the one that has the outer diameter. Then right click, go to move and pick it up. Then come close to the bottom of this thing. Then you see a plus at the center of that, the bottom part of the elbow. Click on that plus and move it towards the elbow with the outer. Then you see the plus again when you come close to the bottom of the elbow, the inner one. Click on that plus. And right now, the outer diameter is actually superimposed on the inner diameter. So we have our elbow, both the outer and inner diameter. Let me actually, this is the elbow right now. So let me change view to southwest so that we can see what is happening from the other side. It's on southwest. Let me change southeast. So you can actually see the inner. Okay, you can see the inner. But there's a problem here. An elbow is supposed to be open so that gases, liquid can flow into it and out of it. But right now, this elbow is closed. So how are we going to open it? So that is the next thing I'm going to show you right now. So to open this elbow, let's go to wireframe, change from realistic, click on 2D wireframe. So we're going to use the subtract command. So you come over here to your ribbon where you have solid editing. Then the first thing we have here is solid union. The other one you have solid subtract. We're going to make use of solid subtract. So click on solid subtract. On the command line, you are told to select objects, subtract, select objects. So whenever you're subtracting, how do you subtract? You first of all click on the object that you want to keep. You press enter, and then you click on the one you want to take away. What we want to take away is the inner diameter. The inner diameter is what we want to carve out of this elbow so that only the outer will be left. Anything that has to do with the inner will disappear. So like I said, you go up to subtract, click on subtract. After click on subtract, you are asked to select object. But before we select object, let's click on let's be on a 2D wireframe. So I go to subtract, I click on subtract. I want to keep the outer, so I click on this. The reason why I say it should be on wireframe is very, very easy for you to pick outer alone from wireframe when you're on wireframe. So I click on this, I press enter. I want to keep the outer, I click on the outer, I press enter. Now I want to take away the inner, I click on the inner, I press enter. Okay, and this is it. Our elbow has been formed. But actually, how do we know that the opening has been created? So let's switch over back to realistic from wireframe. So you can see the opening here. You can see the opening, there's an opening has been created. So your elbow, this is your 10-inch schedule 80 elbow. So let's maybe use the orbit tool. I click on orbit. You can see the O right now more properly. You can see it from the bottom. Okay. So this is our elbow. So please, if you have any question, please drop your questions in the comment section. And in case you want to chat me up via WhatsApp, you can chat me up on +234 803829 5185. You can chat me up on WhatsApp via that number +234 8038 295 If you need one-on-one lessons via Zoom, via online medium, you can also chat. I'm available for it. So thank you so much. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, drop your comments, click on the bell icon, and I'm very honored for you being with me today. Thank you. I will always like you to come along. Bye. We'll meet in our next lesson. Thank you so much.